It's Darkstalkers time! Hello, welcome to another figure review. Today we're gonna have a look at the Storm Collectibles Darkstalkers Demitri, the Prince of Darkness. Storm Collectibles on their way to conquering the fighting game world by storm, pun intended. Yes, they're picking up every single license available to them, so we got Darkstalkers now. I'm happy about it, but on the flip side, Demitri is not the first character I had in mind, because Morrigan? Duh. But then again, this is Storm Collectibles, which is known for making big, beefy guys. And that's cool. So, Demitri looks pretty fine, and I want to have a look at it. Enough talk. Have at it.
Happy Halloween, everybody. And don't forget to leave a like, a subscribe, and a comment, or I will haunt you forever!
It should also be noted, because I'm always forgetting this part, so I'm doing it right now. You have a very cool 2D, 16-bit backdrop of his stage, which looks pretty damn clean. Unfortunately, that's bent, but you know, if you iron it up, heat it up a little bit, it might look pretty good for some diorama stuff. Just saying. Wow, this guy has a presence and is deceptively tall. How tall, you might ask? Well, I'm here to tell you. This guy stands at about almost 21 centimeters to the back of his hair, and we're going up to 20 if you're going to where his skull would end, I'd say. And for your interest, that's like 7.8 where his skull would end, and almost 8.1 where his hair ends. Size comparisons. Here's Jalter, SH Figure Arts Son Goku, Metal, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Darkseid. Now, one thing I gotta say right off the bat, get it? He's a vampire. I don't like the coloring. It's really muted and it's kind of dull. And on the box, you have something that's a lot more colorful. Now, I'm not 100% in line with Darkstalkers lore and the coloring and the games and whatnot, but I'm guessing this is supposed to be the original Darkstalkers color? Question mark? But yeah, they actually also have a figure with color that's a lot more vibrant than this one. And I just recently saw that on Big Bad Toy Store, but I had already ordered this one. I had no idea of the more vibrant version. Otherwise, I probably would have gotten that. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's have a look at what we're dealing with the figure at hand. He has a perfectly grimacing look. I love this, just kind of arrogant. Mouth angled all the way down, and he got the blood red eyes, which are glossy, so a lot more shiny than the matte finish on the rest of the figure. And there's a little bit of a weird spot in the hair. The hair looks good, there's a lot of strands going on, and the paint on it is clean for the most part. We do have some paint issues, but I'll get to that in a second. I mean, for the rest of it, it's also fairly simple. You have a plastic cape, which is rubbery, and it doesn't have any wires, so you cannot really pose it, but it also doesn't get into the way. It is fairly thick, though. It's tabbed in on this piece, from what I can tell. And then you have this kind of scarf thingy, I don't know what I call this, which is hard plastic for whatever reason. Just really weird. Storm Collectibles, they're usually doing soft plastic, you have kind of the jacket is soft plastic, and under there you have some stuff peeking out. Why is this color like that? That is kind of weird, but I guess you wouldn't really see it. No, I don't think. Even if you push it all the way to the back, shouldn't really unveil that. But then you have the muscle work, which is, I mean, it's fantastic. Muscle work on Storm Collectibles figures is always a treat, and they're really good at that, so that's why they're usually doing male characters, from what I can tell. You also have some of it in the back, yes, that's why specifically wanted to have a look at that. And he looks just chiseled also in the arms. There's so much going on, and we get to the part which is absolutely freaking awful about this figure. What happened here? What is that? What is that? All of the rest on the paint on the figure is fairly good, but this is freaking awful. This looks like, I don't even know, like a kid did it. That is unforgivable. And it's also on this side, it's yeah, I guess I have to do some of it myself. I mean, it is white, so it's fairly easy to clean, to paint yourself, but what? Why the hell do I have to do this? What is this, like a gunpla? I don't have to build this, I don't have to paint this. You do this for me, that's why I'm paying you. Anyway, going back to the figured hand, the muscle work on these thighs is, it's a snack, it's a treat. I'm like, wow. Also, we have a butt, and kind of like more of his sort of kind of rope thingy, soft plastic hanging down to the back. Speaking of back, more muscle work. Like this, is this one of the most chiseled figures I ever had from Storm? I mean, that's like a lot. That's like a big list to top if this is really the case. But I'm actually really impressed with how much there's going on in his muscle work. It's just like, he's big, but not like, you know, he's not like Zangief big. But it's just like, it's a really cool mix of like a fairly tall character who's not as super beefy as like some of the wrestling type characters, but still so much muscle in it. And then you have the dots going on throughout all of his costume, which are cleanly painted. I don't know how you screw this up so bad, and this looks good. And down to the boots, which are molded on. For 1 second I thought it was just paint over here, but no, it has a little bit of a difference in height, as you can tell over there. And down to his feet with a little bit of wrinkling going on in the boots. So, yeah, I mean, overall, it's a fairly simple design, but my god, the muscle work is phenomenal. Looking at the articulation, I feel like nothing really has changed with Storm, which isn't really a bad thing, but it's been a while. So, the head is on a ball, and they have a long pack which is connected to the neck. So you can move both of them around, but this neck is fairly hindered by the color, which is also hard plastic, which is weird. They made some weird choices with the hard plastic on this one, but it does tilt side to side. It does go to the back and forward, not really that much to the back, and all the way around. For your shoulder articulation, you got a hinge in there and connected to a ball, which rotates fairly well around. And you have a bicep swivel, a double hinged elbow, and the fist is on a ball hinge, and there's the ruches over here, this ugly paint job. It's also soft plastic and not connected, so it rotates with it and the hand goes off. But yeah, actually they really cut it up nicely. You don't even see that line over there, so that's pretty good. Goes back and forward. Does not really, it does tilt side to side. I'm trying to hold on to the lower part to not move that around with it. And it would go all the way around, but this noise is really bad, so don't want to do that. The lower hip part also rotates very freely and goes forward to the back and does tilt side to side, also rotates without any hassle. They left a pretty good gap in there, and it is maybe for some I would say a little bit too gappy, but for me it's alright. I feel like the movement of it is so good that I don't really complain about it. Then the big legs move out to the side, move to the front, to the back, and you can rotate it over there, can you? You can a little bit, but since they're so thick, it's kind of hard to do. Then you have the double hinge knee and the foot, which is just on another hinge down there. Ball hinge goes back, forward, does tilt side to side, beautiful pivot. And you have a toe hinge that goes up, but not down, which, you know, I don't need that. For the accessories, you got some really cool stuff, and I want to get into the coolest right away. This one, I love this. You have the vampire bat in like a see-through orange. It looks pretty cool. It is a little bit rubbery in the wings, but I really look at the detail in the face. Yes, there we go. Look at that. It's beautiful. And you do have a peg hole for like the little base they give you with the figure, and then you have a big energy effect. How big? You know, here's his head. Yeah. There you go. It's pretty big, takes up some space, and it's big. I don't know what else to say. Also, it's kind of like a two-piece, but I don't think it's supposed to disconnect. I guess you can kind of rotate it a little bit. Then you have the face sculpts. You have like one kind of smiling and gritting teeth face. Both of them fantastic. Also the paint job on it, like the eyebrows are so clean on it. Whew. Anyway, more on the hands. You got like booby grab hands. Wow, that's some big boobies he's going for. Well, Morrigan is in the game, haha! And you have these kind of posing hands. Very nicely done, actually, though. I like the way it's folded, and these two fingers, they kind of like combine, and the other ones aren't. And, well, I actually got the wrong ones. These two, actually, it's these two together, never mind. And then the other two, which are almost the same. That's why I kind of got them confused. But yeah, these two have the fingers, which are connected to each other. And then finally, you have the base. So here's that stuff, which I don't really care for. It's just a regular base, and it has like pegs in there, which you combine, and then you put it you put the figure on there, like I said. Let me take it out real quick, but yeah, I don't think it's good. Before they had an arm, and like it's so flimsy and cheap, and yeah. Final thoughts on Demitri. I really like this figure a lot more than I expected to. I could talk about it a lot, how like, oh, muscle work and size and yada yada yada. He just has a presence. And that's one of the most important aspects of any figure. When you take it out of the box, when you take it out of the packaging, you play around with it and you're just like, yeah, this feels right, this feels good. Other than the botched paint job on that, this figure is awesome. And if it didn't have that problem, I would just be like, yeah, 10 out of 10, splooge all over the place. The accessories are great, the look's great, the muscle work is off the charts, and this guy's, he's beautiful, and I can't wait. Also, like, it's Darkstalkers. I love Darkstalkers. It has so many cool designs, and I hope they do more, and it really needs some more love, and yeah, that's about it. I love this guy, and I highly recommend him. Even though the botched paint, oh god, it makes it even worse that it's such a cool figure other than that. But still recommend it. Hope yours doesn't have such a shitty paint job on his armbands or whatever. So, but yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. As usual, don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Demitri wants. Not this. Happy Halloween, by the way. Yeah, actually, non-ironically, I just realized at the end of the review, I just recorded a Halloween episode.